You'll have multiple tools available, including muting, which it seemed that most of you were able to do that. It's right here. You see that? And unmuting yourself, so whenever you have that line through your speaker, I can't hear you or no one else can. You'll be able to raise your hand, use the chat feature. It allows you to send and receive messages from each other and myself. Now we're going to get a little bit closer look at our tools. I've showed you that speaker, so here that would be that we're unmuted. We're not ever going to use the video, and I've kind of said that a couple times before we even started because of our bandwidth. We want to make sure that we don't use too much internet and get kicked off. So we'll never use any of the cameras. I always shut them down. But we always got to hear each other. And we also don't want to hear any background noise. So most of the time, keep yourself muted. And if you have a question, you'll raise your hand and I'll call on you. If you click on your microphone image or icon, you can see that you can mute and unmute yourself. That's all you have to do is to click and unclick. That's pretty self-explanatory with that. Anybody have any questions about unmuting yourself or muting yourself? No? Yeah, that's pretty easy. The next thing we have here then is to raise our hand. If you click on the hand, everybody do that. Click on your hand, and I should see like 36 participants' hands up right now. Yeah, getting them. There you are. Now, hit your hand again, and that'll put your hand down. Go ahead and take your hands down. Oh, perfect. Seeing that. Now, Chuck or Nicole, do you have questions or you're still figuring it out? There you go. See on this back screen since I have so many of you. Perfect. Everybody's hands went up. Everybody's hands went down. Love it. Now, I can put your hand down for you I might do that every once in a while after we've talked and you've left your hand up. No big deal. Not concerned about that. One of our greatest assets for an instructor-led course is interaction with me. And of course, your interaction with your fellow students. I love to hear your voices, but our chat box is another way to interact directly with others in the classroom. So the chat icon allows you to open and close the chat, which it looks like most of you understand that. Does anybody not understand how to use the chat box at all? Thanks, Thomas, for that. That's another reason why I like to teach the class, because some young people can teach me more about a computer than I know. Oh, that's to raise or lower your hand. So Thomas says you can also use clear plus shift plus K to raise your hand.
Sure.
Everybody want to practice opening and closing the chat for me? Everybody comfortable with that? Seem to be. Everybody's talked to me through the chat. Thumbs up. Yeah, now we're working with the thumbs up. You guys are getting a little ahead of me. And we've already worked on typing in the chat. We can ask questions in the chat. We can answer questions in the chat. I can do a poll in the chat for you. You'll see a lot of that happening. So everybody give me a thumbs up if you're totally happy with the chat and you're comfortable with it. Supposed to have you type your name in the chat, but we're moving on with the thumbs up. That's good. In the chat also, you won't ever see your name under anything that you've put. You only see your classmates' names. Now, if you accidentally lose your chat, all you got to do is simply click on that chat icon to reopen it. At the end of each of our sessions, you're going to make sure that you hang up the phone, because that is going to take you out of the Teams meeting completely. If you don't click out on the phone, then it leaves you in there. So always make sure when we get ready to end our session, you hang up your phone. Everybody get that? Give me a thumbs up for hanging your phone up at the end of each session. You'll hit the red phone whenever we finish a class. The reason that we do this, every time that you come into a class, I want you to type into the chat, hello. And when you leave the chat or you leave the class, I need you to say goodbye to me. This is how I keep attendance. And also, I will be asking many questions during our sessions, so I know that you're kind of paying attention and you didn't go take a nap on me when I went to break, things like that. That's how I keep track that you're learning, is through our chat. So everyone comfortable with mute and unmute, raising your hand, opening and closing the chat, and leaving the session? Paula gives me the eyes. Good. Now we have chat emojis. And we have GIFs. But I would want you to refrain from using GIFs. Uses up too much of the broadband. We just want to use emojis. Does everyone see that they have chat emojis? Give me a thumbs up if you do. If you don't see them, let me know that too, because not everyone might not see them. I've made sure they're available to everyone. Okay, great. We also don't want to use the GIFs because we want to make sure that we keep everything relevant to our course material. During each session, I'm going to present several opportunities to check your understanding of the topic being discussed. These we call check for understanding questions. Let's look at an example now of that. When we're presented with a check for understanding questions, you will see the question on the screen. You're going to read the question carefully before you answer. Let's give this a try now. We're not going to judge. Guessing's totally fine. Which of the following is the nation's tax collection agency? B, yeah. I bet when I show you this, that's what it's going to be, the Internal Revenue Service. That's pretty easy. Great answers. I will always show you the correct answers after we have finished it, or I get a few answers from everyone, along with the explanation of why it's correct. So why this one's correct is because the Internal Revenue Service is who collects the money for the nation. and writes all the rules for it. Are there any questions about Teams before we move to the Block Academy discussion? No? Everybody's comfortable with the way Teams, we're just using our hand. We'll use our microphone so we can talk. We'll use our chat. We'll use our emojis. Everybody's good with that. Good. It looks like my chat, everybody says their thumbs up. Our second segment today is how to navigate our Block Academy. Block Academy is the website where your curriculum is housed. You will go into Block Academy to start each chapter, module, and test throughout the course. Here's a view of what Block Academy looks like. How many show a thumbs up? Or let's say if you can't get into Block Academy at this point, show me a thumbs up. If you can, don't show me anything. If you cannot see Block Academy at this point, give me a thumbs up. Because I seen in chat earlier they couldn't access it. Some people couldn't. Nobody's having trouble right now. Michael, you can't. You're not accessing it. Oh, okay. After you registered for the course, you were given next steps to complete the setup of your Block Academy. Your first step you should see here in your Block Academy. Does everybody see that? Thumbs up. If you see the same thing that I'm presenting in your Block Academy. Ryan, you're unable to pull it up. Ryan, when did you sign up for the course? Okay. Already signed up? Okay. Let me know when you're in there, Ryan.
First. Okay.
So that was your first step, was to register for the course. So now we're going to make sure you go through an entire module and view all the pages so it's marked. You would launch. You will launch this Getting Started Required First Steps in your Block Academy. Step 2 is to provide a referral code, but you probably don't have one. If you don't, you'll just leave that box blank and move on to the next step. That's where your referral code would go and just submit. If you don't have that referral code, you'll go to the next step, 3. And either you'll say you're a guest user, which a guest user means you do not work for H&R Block. You're not a current or prior employee of H&R Block. Current H&R Block employees, they are able to get into their employee portal and access their Block Academy through that. Guest users, they use an external site for it. So did everyone mark their correct status with the company, whether you're a guest user or a current H&R Block employee? Also here, you could purchase a printed copy of the participant's guide and or the forms through FedEx. You're also able to select certain parts of it if you don't want to purchase the entire book through FedEx, but there is an additional fee if you wanted a printed copy. Now, step 4 demonstrates the 2 applications that you will use for the course. Block Academy is our learning management system, and this is how you'll progress through the course and how it's tracked. Anything you do in the course, whether it's reading your participant's guide, answering review or practice questions after you finish a chapter, or take a test, should be launched through Block Academy. You will always launch your work through Block Academy first. Does everyone understand that? Yay, thumbs up. You can relaunch the next steps as many times as you need. You need to exit the module at least once for it to be marked complete in Block Academy. Once you've exited the module, you can click the launch again to open it again and go back and look at anything you might need to in Block Academy. You're looking, but your page is different, Ryan. We might have a one-off because I'll be available for about 15 minutes after the class so we can kind of see what you're looking at. Okay, thumbs up for Ryan. Do you see this here? You always see a launch there on Block Academy. You can drop down this arrow, you can launch it, you can view the training details, or you can move to an archived transcript. Once you do that, you kind of just say it's complete. You're not going to be able to do that till your whole course is completed here. Once you've completed the next steps module, you'll be able to open up Inkling. And Inkling's where you'll actually find your book and all your exercises and things. So that's the Inkling step. That's where you should be on now. "48 hours after you register for the course, you'll be able to set up your Inkling account. You will use your registered email, so the email that you use to sign up for the course, and the password HRBlock123, HR blocks all lowercase, to access Inkling. Remember, you do not want to launch Inkling until 48 hours have passed since you registered. So can anyone tell me if they can get into Inkling now by a thumbs up? Anyone see Inkling yet or have tried? Robert, how long ago did you sign up for Inkling? So there's nothing there. Michael, did you sign up 48 hours? Has it been 48 hours since you signed up? Okay, Robert, you do already have an Inkling account. That's probably why you don't see anything. Are you in H&R Block's employee portal, Robert? Hmm. Robert, if you're in H&R Block's portal already, you should be able to go to Inkling in My Apps and access or search Federal Income Tax Course 2024 and get access to your ebook.
Hey, I did want to mention, sorry for busting in. I did want to mention that employees that are not currently hired or were previously hired, some have had issues and they had to actually go to tech support to be able to get in. So if you are already an employee that's either not hired or those that are hired, don't forget you can go to AMP. You can get into Inkling through there. You're looking for the Federal Income Tax Course 2024, and you can keep up with the chapters. You just may have to get tech support to help you get the Block Academy modules marked off.
Okay, Robert, he's found it. He is a H&R Block employee. He has it, but Robert V does not.
This is also Pat. I'm not finding this Inkling.
So are you in Block Academy? Do you have that open?
I have open where you have next steps Inkling.
Let me go back here.
Um,
So here's your Block Academy, getting started, required first steps.
I did that.
Okay.
And then I have a check where it says income tax course personal information. I have a check there.
Okay.
And I'm at the window where it says welcome, log in to start. It says printing. Then it says invalid user ID or password.
So your user ID is your registered, the email that you use to register for the course. You have to use that. And then the password is HR Block, all lowercase, 123. Yeah, Lynn put it in the chat for us. So
So
it's
HR
HR
Block
Block. I'm putting it in the chat too.
123.
Yep, 123. I just put it in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's all lowercase.
I'm going here now.
It sounds like Pat may still be in the getting started. Remind everybody, you can go ahead to chapters 1 through 4 and you will not get 100% because that very first module, HR Block Virtual Income Tax Course 2024, will not get the black circle with the white check mark until the very end of the class. So she could probably pop on to chapters 1 through 4 and see if she can launch the chapter from there.
Okay.
Can you do that?
Let me go in, launch. It's taking me to wages, income, and tax.
That is the first chapter, yes.
It keeps going back to when I click on and then click launch. it just brings me back to the same page, H&R Block Virtual Income Tax Course.
So you do not have, do you have a black check mark where H&R Block's income tax course next steps is?
H&R Block Learning Management, link to instruction chapter, link to chapter 1.
Because if you look at the screen that I'm sharing right here now.
Oh, let me bring that screen back up. Okay,
this is what you should see on your Block Academy screen.
I'm just switching between screens here, and that's what's taking so long.
It's fine.
So, getting started. I'm not on the right screen. That's my problem, I think.
Lynn, do you know if it's 48-hour like business days, or would the weekend count as 48 hours?
You know, I am not sure, but I am putting in chat. I'm just looking it up right now. If you go to click on launch in the chapters, so unfortunately if you are in chapters 1 through 4 and you're trying to launch chapter 1 and it scrolls for a couple seconds and then brings you right back to the page basically that we are looking at and not at Inkling. And Tamara, right. So I'm about to put a phone number in chat. Sometimes this is giving us a little bit of problems. So I'm about to put there is a special number for us to call to say, hey, how come we can't get into Inkling? And they've been able to help us. We also have an email where you can, which is a little bit easier on your psyche, to be able to go into an email, send them an email and say, hey, help me. Now they do normal business hours. So if it's in the evening, you may not be able to get to them.
Thank you, Lynn, for putting that in the chat for us.
Okay. So be patient, guys. By the time you get back in class, you'll get it all straightened out.
Yeah. Chuck, are you saying that you're 48, you're working now, and your 48 hours were actually over the weekend? If you just answer in chat, or you can unmute yourself if you like. Correct. So it does just count days, not business days. So if you signed up and it's been 48 hours, you should be able to get into it. And you can't get into it, then call tech support that Lynn left in the chat. And yes, sometimes if you just email them, it is quicker and better. You're not sitting on the line, and they usually get back to you within 24 hours or so.
Mrs. Baxter. So I signed up for Inkling. Well, I registered yesterday, and I haven't waited the 48 hours, but I still have access to Inkling. Is that bad or?
Well, that's good, I guess, if you still have access to Inkling.
Yeah,
that's kind of that's
letting
good.
me in. So is that okay? I mean,
yeah,
it's not gonna okay.
No, because once you get Inkling set up and over to, well, we're getting to that. Eric said to me, she doesn't get a check mark when she opens 1 through 4. That's because you've got to complete them. You got to get through there before you'll get the actual check mark on that. You've only opened one chapter at the time. Let's go. Smartphone or tablet.
You have a bunch of raised hands too, in case you can't see them.
No, I didn't see them.
It's like Trenton and Alina.
Trenton, what do you got for me, hon? You can I'll unmute you. I guess I can unmute him. Trenton, go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your question.
I had a question earlier, but I'm working through the getting started steps now as we go along. I think I got it so far. Hello?
Yes, I'm listening. So you're getting through it now?
I'm getting through it now. I'm inside of step 3 of 4. Now I'm trying to print the course materials.
Yeah, you won't print them unless you're going to pay extra to have them printed through FedEx.
Oh, I see. I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do I do in this case? Do I click? I see an arrow.
Yeah,
Okay.
keep going.
Launch video. Okay. I'm going to launch this video and mute it. Because we talked about this, didn't we? Didn't I see you go through this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And also, guys, make sure your pop-ups aren't blocked because that'll be an issue too.
Okay. Well, I think that was all. Thank you so much.
Olena.
Hi, I have a question. When I try to open this course, I see my previous course that I didn't finish yet. And I think maybe they sign up me for the same course twice.
So you already signed up for an income tax course?
Yeah, I started in September, and then I received a message that I can sign up for course, and I thought this is the second course or another course, and I sign up. But when I open that link, I see all my
Old.
chapters that I learned.
Yeah, all your old. So do you see this course at all on there? On your
In my transcript, I see this course and my previous course, but when I press curriculum, I see the same course that I have right now, that I have from September.
in your Inkling, is that what you're saying to me? That when you go to Inkling, you still see what you worked on then? Because you would.
Yes.
You would still see that because you only have one book in Inkling. You wouldn't get a different book for the different course. So you can access this course for this date and time. You have your September course and your October course.
Yes.
Okay. When you click on Inkling to get into Inkling, you're going to see any work that you previously did in that book. It's not going to give you a new book. So you should be fine. What I believe you should do, can you, because I don't have access to that roster, can you drop down where it says launch and withdraw from that course yourself?
When I press launch, it sends me to the ebook and all exercise that all chapters that I did already. Like I cannot see any new book.
Yeah, you wouldn't because there would only be one book because you're you're an employee of H&R Block, correct? Because you were signed up in September.
I'm not employer from HR Block.
So this is a new course. That's something you're going to have to call tech support on because whoever your last instructor was for September that you didn't finish with, they should have withdrew you from that course.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so call that. Lynn put tech support's number and email in the chat. Call them and let them know that you need that one withdrawn.
If your learner can tell me the name of their instructor, I can go check and make sure that they were withdrawn.
Do you know your name of your instructor, Alina?
Oh, I forgot. I will check.
Okay, we'll check.
Catherine Timley, I think. I know that first name is Catherine.
Oh, we got a couple hundred instructors, so.
Yeah.
Catherine Tierney, Tierney, last name.
Spell that again, Tier.
Ney.
Right. And what days and time was your class?
From September 10th, it's Tuesday and Friday from 1 o'clock Central Time.
I'll be right back.
Thanks, Lynn.
There
Trin,
are
do you
two
still have a
components to the
question?
course.
Your
Block
hand's still
Academy,
up.
which provides you direction and guides you through all of the coursework.
Thank you,
I'm
Alina.
sorry.
Inkling,
Lynn,
an
we're
ebook,
good.
which houses your
Just
participants
making
guide.
sure, trying to go down the line here. Ryan.
Each time you return to the course, you will need to log into Block Academy using the email address and password you established during registration. We recommend setting a bookmark so it's easy to return to Block Academy each time. Once logged into Block Academy, you should complete each section in order. The item that
Ryan,
you
do
need
you
to
have a
complete
question?
next will be
Rainwater?
available only after the prior item has been completed.
Nope, took your hand down.
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you. I got it figured out.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Thomas.
Howdy.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. On the getting started
Sections on the
required
left
first
can be
steps, it
clicked
says
on
I'm at
directly to start each
75%
one.
out of 100.
Once you are done with
I'm
getting started,
assuming
required
that
first
this
steps section,
H&R
you would
block
then
for
click on
full
the
income
first
task
chapter
force
section
thing
that begins with chapter 1.
I assume that's going to be
This
completed
opens up
after
a
the
new
class is
set of
over.
directions you will work
Yeah,
through.
you'll go to 100%.
All right, cool. I
From
just wanted
there,
to
you
make
will be
sure,
taken
so I'll
out
get
of
it on
Block
my end.
Academy
Yeah.
and linked directly to your Inkling Participants Guide. This is the only way that you should go to your Participants Guide, because if you go directly to Inkling to read a chapter, your progress
Am
will
I
not be
saying it
tracked
right,
and it will not be
Mauli?
marked complete in Block Academy. Once you are in Inkling, you can maneuver throughout the ebook. Please watch the videos and read the information in the introduction and chapter 1 of Inkling. They will provide you guidance on how to use the ebook.
Hello.
After reading the
Hello,
chapter,
how
you
are
will once
you?
again go back to Block
I'm fine. How
Academy
about you?
and enter a
I'm
module
good.
to
What's your
answer questions
question?
about the chapter.
Yeah, my question is, what
To
should
complete
I
modules in
see
Block
when
Academy,
I
use
set
the
up for
arrows in the lower
thinking?
right
I don't
corner
know
of
if
each
it is the
screen to
course
progress
or
through
it's
the
the
entire
book.
module. Exit the modules
It
by
will be
using
the
the button
book.
provided.
We're
Do
going to
not simply close the browser
get more
window.
into that here.
Closing the browser window will not mark the module complete. Once that is done and
Okay.
marked
What you
complete,
have
you
in
will
your
be able to
screen right
proceed
now,
with
I
the
have
rest of the
that too.
curriculum.
Is okay?
Sometimes you will only
Yes.
need to read important information,
This
and
is
when
the
done, you will
course?
click on Mark Complete.
Mhm.
This again will allow you to move forward.
Okay. Thank you.
Understanding the
You're
difference
welcome.
between Block Academy and Inkling will help you to navigate through the course successfully. It's as easy as remembering to start in Block Academy each time you return to your coursework.
Okay, we went over the 48 hours. Now, did everyone, when you did your, did you open up your income tax course too? So I'll figure out who's still having problems. So after you get Inkling checked, because that's where all your checks are, getting started. In your Inkling, all this should be checked up once you got Inkling going.
Mrs. Baxter?
Yes.
So on mine, it's saying that I only have 17% and the getting started required first steps isn't checked off yet. Is that because I'm in the class with you right now and the red calendar isn't checked off? Because my red calendar isn't checked off. Oh, what?
Yes, you need to launch that.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, well,
Drop down that arrow if you can see like that arrow right there.
okay,
Drop that down and launch it.
okay. I'm gonna try to get to it. Sorry. Thank you for your patience.
Oh, no, you guys, I can completely understand where you're lost. This is your first time of even looking at this stuff. We honestly have like 5 years. People are being around still like, oh, how do I get to that?
Oh, okay. So also I had to press launch on there.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I just pressed launch and it's launching another Teams meeting, but I'm already in one. So do I just wait until the end of the Teams meeting ends for it to check off?
Maybe so. It should check off there. Do you have income tax course personal information form? Is that
Yes.
checked?
I
Okay.
have all the other three checked, just not the red calendar.
Okay. And
Yeah.
Inkling, everything else is done. Okay.
hmm
Perfect.
Okay.
So now you should see your link for chapters 1 through 4. Does anybody see those? You give me a thumbs up in chat if you have your link to chapter 1 and 4. Good. See a couple of them going up there. Yay. So all your completed sessions, you'll always see a check mark through there, and then we give you that percentage that you're completed with. Like chapter 1 through 4, in this particular example, they've completed 3 of the 14 required tasks. Some are still waiting for their 48 hours. That's okay.
You're going way too fast.
So when you're in Inkling and you're linking your Block Academy and you start there and you launch your chapter, while you might not complete the work in Inkling in one setting, it should still show a complete in the Block Academy. So you should still get a check mark there. If you're not, just relaunch Inkling until everything gets check marked.
Where you can't bounce
You can
back and
either
forth.
launch it through Block Academy once you launched it the first time, or you can launch it directly in Inkling in the ebook. But you must start the launch from Block Academy the first time you launch that chapter. Items that are contained within Block Academy, like your practice questions and your tests, for example, they're not going to show as complete until they're completed in full either. So everything has to be done all at once, or that will not get done. Well, not at all at once, but you have to complete all of the questions and modules before it'll go 100%. In this example here that I have, went up too many. You'll see that the 29% up here in the curriculum progress, that's how much of the entire course in this example is completed at that point in time. It won't show 100% until everything has been completed through all the chapters. You can also tell. Go ahead.
You have a bunch of students with their hands up. Can you see them?
Mm-hmm. Michael, what do you have for me? I just got them cleared.
And they're back.
Michael, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
So every time I launch Inkling, it just says I don't have access to the publication. Like, here, I'll try
So
to
when you
relaunch
signed
it.
up?
I want to say like a week ago.
Huh, that's kind of strange. That one you'll have to call tech support for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Angelica?
Yeah, on my getting started required first step, it's not completed. It says that I'm 75%.
You're missing something there then. Can you launch it again?
Remind them that the Welcome to Block Academy will not complete
till the course is over.
Right, that very first one. Tamara, go ahead and put a box around it or put an oval around it, because this screen is misleading. It shows a big red circle around that very first element, which is welcome. Yeah, that one right there says Welcome to Block Academy. That will not populate until you complete the roster at the end of the class. So this first section will always stay at 75%, but you should be able to, once you get the other ones there, 3 of them, you should be able to pop right on to chapters 1 through 4 and get started in the class. That should not hang you up at all.
Everybody got that?
Okay. Yes. Thank
I had another question. Robert, you have a question for me? You can unmute yourself.
Hi, Tamara.
Hi.
I'm sorry, is my husband's name on this one, but it's actually Antuela Visha.
Okay. Why is your husband on that one?
I had some trouble logging in from mine, so I kind of downloaded it again, and it was since this computer is initially registered with his name, and I had some trouble to switch.
His Microsoft Teams is under his name.
Yes.
And you can't get your own Microsoft Teams because
I'll try. Maybe I go out of the meeting and try again.
Yeah, I think that you might have to find and delete that Microsoft Teams and then add your own. I'm not real sure.
I think when she comes in, it asks for, if you launch from Block Academy and it pops up, it should ask her for her first and last name.
Did it do that for you?
No, it did not ask about my first and last name.
When they open from Block Academy, it also says something about open in a different browser. Would that work then? You think?
Good.
I'll try. I'll have to log in and log out again. Log out and log in.
Try that.
And also, I have signed up for the LinkedIn, but the getting started check is not checked yet.
Yeah,
It's
it won't
unchecked
be.
for me.
Yeah, it won't be. It'll only be like 75% when it's all finished. That getting started won't be checked all the way until we get through attendance in the course.
And then I was able to open the linking account, but I cannot access anything. There is no ebook there, and I cannot access the introduction or the chapter, any chapter either.
You can't get any of the chapters? How long ago did you sign up?
I can see them. I can see the launch button and everything. I can see the names of the chapters, but when I click on launch, it says you do not have access. You have to contact the administrator.
Then that would be you would have to call the tech support that Lynn gave us that information to in the chat so they can access it. Has it been 48 hours since you signed up?
I think so.
Okay. Chuck says that he's put something in the chat about you can't have 2 users on the same app.
2 users?
On the same Teams app. there can only be one user, so
It's just me. There is no other user.
well,
Maybe.
well, it's under your husband's name on the Teams.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah.
What the?
So you
Oh,
can't
okay,
have,
maybe I should
yeah.
log in from mine. Okay.
Yes, you have to log in from
Okay.
your Teams. Yes.
Okay, I'll try that option and see if it works. But I thought since you sent on the email and said you can read the introduction before the first class, I tried to link to join to launch the link in and go read the introduction. I couldn't even before joining the Teams.
The main thing is that it takes 48 hours for the class to access an Inkling. And if it's been 48 hours, then it doesn't launch. First, make sure your pop-ups are off. You're not blocking pop-ups. And then second, we'll have to just call tech support on it to get them to fix it. They're the ones that have to fix that.
Hey,
we
Tamara, we need to tell the class that we're going to hang around afterwards, but you have 3 minutes left in the allotment. So let's go ahead and move through the slides. If everybody will hold your questions till afterwards, we'll try to pick them off after
one
we've
by
dismissed
one.
the rest of the class.
Yeah. Because that's what we're all talking about, is all this launching right now. Now your participants guide, who can see that? Give me a thumbs up on your participants guide. Okay.
You jumping around. Get to the fucking point.
So you want to select chapters 1 through 4 in that section. If anybody can, go ahead and click on launch and see where the module takes you in the participants guide. Your link to your introduction chapter would depend on whether or not you're an H&R Block employee or not. So you want to click on that correct one. That's important. And then your participants guide should look like this. Erica says only her welcome has launch. The first thing that you want to make sure that you do, if you are able to access all of this, and then once you get access, is to go through the introduction chapter. It's meant to make you successful. Make sure we try to read this by Thursday, and there's a video on the first page of chapter 1 that also discusses navigating the course that you can watch and rewatch again if you need to.
Freak, this is keep kicking me out of this stuff.
I have a little field trip for you. And it didn't save for me. Let me go to it. Wait. It's not going to come up. And I will show you quickly how to navigate the course in Inkling.
Yes. There it is.
I have some favorites that I have saved. So you also have a place that you can use for notebooks. So you can make notes. You can search a particular subject. You can also see your contents this way. and you can highlight if you need to. We'll also be showing more of the inkling in our next session. We also want to make sure attendance is taken seriously. You are only allowed to miss 4 classes. Once you miss the 5th one, I will have to withdraw you from class. I take attendance, like I told you earlier, through the chat.
But it's going to be pretty hard
To
if
receive
you
credit for
can't
taking this
figure out how to
course,
get us logged into this stuff.
you can only miss 15 minutes of the first hour of each one of them. Is that right, Lynn, or is it 10? Forget.
It's 15 minutes of the first one, but it's 10 minutes per hour cumulative.
Cumulative that you
Where
can
are you
miss.
at?
You can do playbacks, but they do not count as taking the actual session. And you're allowed 4 playback sessions, but you can't miss more than 4 sessions, or the 5th one, I'll have to drop you from class. The attendance is for the entire session is based on physical presence and participation. Like I said, we'll use the chat. Is there any questions about attendance on here or not?
Miss Baxter.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, like, let's say I miss 5 minutes of the first, so let's like I can't get my thoughts together. I'm sorry. So let's say I miss 5 minutes, and then I miss 5 minutes at another class. Does that mean?
No, bitch, you can miss 15 minutes in any class, and it's not gonna
You have
hurt.
to miss the whole session, 4 whole sessions. So, like, you didn't show up next Thursday, Monday, Thursday, and Monday.
Idiot.
Then I would have to drop you. Yeah, like that. And then you can't miss more than 15 minutes of the first hour, and you can't miss more than 10 minutes of any additional hours on there. So our classes will always be 3 hours long, and we'll get a break every hour on that.
Gotcha. And then also, sorry, I just had one more question.
Mm-hmm.
So we always have to put hello when we first enter the Teams
Yeah.
meeting?
Yes.
Okay.
Always put hello, and always say goodbye at the end. That way I know that you were here at the beginning and you were here at the end. And then we're going to participate in chat like we've been doing this whole session. So I know that you're here and you're continuing to listen and participate in the activities that we're working on.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
So hopefully you now feel a little bit more comfortable about the virtual classroom. Like Lynn said, we're going to stick around here for a little while and figure it out. We're going to introduce more information about the course in our next session, as well as cover Chapter 1 in the Participants Guide.
Classes.
Be sure that you log out of class, into class a few minutes early every day. And if you'd like additional opportunity to practice using tools that we discussed today, I'll be sticking around and then helping any other time that we can. Make sure you say goodbye in the chat for today. I have got you over about 4 minutes now. I will be showing you a roadmap of everything that we have to cover. You don't necessarily need this, but every chapter we will look at where we're at. Any additional questions today?
Yeah, real quick. Are you wanting us to start chapter 1 through 4?
So your homework is for Thursday. You're going to go into the introduction chapter in Inkling and read that and watch the video. And then I want you to read chapter 1, start on that, and work any exercises and practice cases.
Okay.
Yeah. In Inkling here, you're going to notice that here's chapter 1 real quick. I'll give you a quick, here's your exercises. Like we're going to teach you how to round and do some other exercises on things that you read in chapter 1. There's an exercise.
We can't see Inkling if you're showing it.
Oh, you can't? Oh.
Yeah. Reshare.
Hey, you've been doing that all day. You just talking. You ain't been clicking on nothing, you just talking. Really?
share. It's not showing my.
Yeah, you're stuck somewhere. There
Yeah, it's not. No, that's showing. Let me stop sharing real quick. Start sharing again. It's not showing my inkling at all. Darn it, I really wanted to show you guys that.
Okay. Well, make sure you know that the rest of the class is dismissed.
Yes, the rest
will
of class.
See them
Thursday at 11 Central Time. Again, we start about 20 minutes each time before class with an activity to do. And anyone has a question, please stick around.
So when we stick around, we just stay online?
Just stay online, yeah.
Okay.
If you don't have any questions or you want to email me later on, I check my email every day, then you can just make sure you hit the leave.
Tamara, can I please log out and try to log in with my email?
You can try. I'm not sure if you'll get back in since the class is technically over.
Okay, I'll try real quick. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Miss Baxter?
Mm-hmm.
So do we have to be present for the 20 minutes before class?
No, you just have to make sure
for the
that
assignment?
you're on time. Yeah. Or no later than 15 minutes on the first hour. Okay.
Okay, so like if I log in at like 10:55, like I'm good.
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
You're so welcome. Have a good day.
Okay,
you
so
Okay,
too.
please,
Miss Baxter,
can you
question.
show us the exercise?
Hello?
Hello.
Oh, question. I still could not sign on. I didn't get the inkling. So I'm going to go to the website. Will they kind of walk me through to make sure I can go in and do the homework and be ready for Thursday?
They should activate it for you so you can get into it. Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll just email you with questions and then
Yeah.
you'll send me emails back.
Yes. Or
Fantastic.
try to make sure that we get you in at the beginning if you can come about 20 minutes earlier if we don't on Thursday, and then I can get you in. If you get behind a chapter, yes, it's a little difficult to get caught up, but one chapter is not as hard as 2 or 3. That's kind of like why we say no more than 4 classes miss, because there's just kind of no way you're going to catch up then.
Okay, what happened is when I put my email and then the password HR block 123, it's not allowing me to sign on.
That why technical support might have to go in there and fix something.
Okay.
And you're sure that you're using the right email, because like even one little typo can mess that up.
I'll go back and check again.
Okay.
So I can just go to chat and then hit goodbye.
Yes. Well, hit the leave and say goodbye to me first, and then hit leave.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
Uh-huh.
Miss Baxter, if we're not able to make a class, are we able to log into another time slot?
No, unfortunately, you cannot. What you can do is do a playback on this because it's recorded.
Okay, so how would that work for attendance? Would you all count that? Do you all
We
get?
don't know. We do not count a playback as you actually attending the class. It just helps you keep up. And
Track.
then, then you're only allowed to miss 4 times, and then we have to drop you. Okay.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye bye.
What's going on with our homework? I'm in the introduction page, and there's chapter 1's on the left hand side, or then I back out of this page, and there's chapter one readings. What homework? What chapter one is the homework?
You're going, yeah, you're going to do the introduction, read all that. And when you're on the page, if you go to the bottom, you should be able to just navigate to the very next thing. The ebook goes in order. So once you get through the introduction, it's going to take you straight to chapter one. So what I want you to do is read the introduction, watch the video, and start chapter one, reading it and doing your exercises and your
Okay, so everything on the
case
left hand
study.
side of the screen, then the individual tax returns, what has to be filed, that type of stuff.
Right. So we'll always do the chapter beforehand, and then we'll come in and we'll talk about the chapter and go over the exercises and answer any questions. So you'll always be prepared for that chapter before you come to
Okay.
class.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Uh-huh. Bye bye. Robert.